Hey, Doug. Logan Brown here, guys. So just how you got started into home inspection.
I've been in the industry for probably 29 plus years now between Washington State and here in Arizona. And I want to make the process easier for the client, our team, as you would call it. And I would like to give them a little bit of peace of mind so that that process is easy for them. So I can tell them, hey, this house is solid and there's no major issues.
That makes a lot of sense. Let me jump in here real quick, Logan. Doug, you mentioned earlier you got to be careful what you say because you are a licensed individual, and it sounds like mold is alarm bells start going off if you say certain things because it means that is this something that would require further inspection, or is this something that's outside your purview and you would need to hire somebody who is licensed in a specific area, such as mold?
Yes, and yes. I am not licensed for mold, and that is a specialty license. So if a client asks for a mold inspection, I can set that up for them. And that is done through the website or through my office. And then that inspector comes out, hopefully the same day, and does the inspection. So we're not intruding on either the seller's time, or if it's unoccupied, then it's not such a big deal. But yeah, that is something where a specialty technician needs to come out and do the testing, and then they'll send it into the lab. And then usually 3 to 5 days later, we will get the results. And then we, as a company, AZ Shield Home Inspections, will put it back inside of our report as a PDF and then send it out to the client again.
And you're facilitating this. So you're like what a general contractor is to subcontractors. You're the general home inspector, and you're going to be subbing out, if you will, to some of the other specialties as needed. And of course, you're impartial and you're not allowed to interfere, but you're going to be presenting that final report to include the mold inspection. Is that correct?
That's an easy answer. If it is something that requires a technician or a specialist, because as a home inspector, I am a generalist. And unless I have those specific licenses, then I am not allowed to do those inspections. So my inspection includes things I can physically see. I'm not allowed to turn valves. I am not allowed to, per se, open up a AC cabinet and look on the interior of that unit. Let's see, what else? I can get on roofs, but I'm not allowed to look under the tiles and move the tiles around. So anytime I do those type of inspections, yes, there is some confusion, and there's always that look from the client that goes, why did I hire you then? Because what a lot of clients don't understand is home inspectors have a lot of restrictions on them because we only are generalists and we are not the specialist. And insurance companies for home inspectors do not allow them to do certain things, lift tiles or turn valves, especially when it comes to water or gas lines, that kind of thing.
And because this is maybe requires some clarity, because I know a lot of people get confused. They think that you come in, you're going to provide them a report with every little thing that's wrong with the home, and to include maybe mold in the pools and everything else. Could you explain what falls under a general home inspector, and then what items or what problems that arise would require a specialty license?
Pools are not a specialty. That is included in a home inspector's purview. I can inspect to the point that I can see everything function. If I can push a button and turn the pump on or the filter on, then I'm allowed to do that. But when it comes to turning any of the valves on that pool, I suggest that they get a pool guy or a technician out there to take a look at it. For instance, today I did an inspection on a pretty much brand new pool, and the filter canister was leaking. Now I can physically see that, but do I know how it is leaking? Probably, because I've been around a while, but I can't give them those specific answers because I'm not licensed to do. I can just tell them what I see.
I think that is actually a great answer, that whatever you can physically see. And if it's something technical, such as AC, pools, I imagine would be a specialty license, mold, plumbing, these kind of things. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah. Back to you, Logan. Go ahead. Carry on.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So
Doug.
knowing I guess the difference between a specialist and a generalist. Now, could you share some, maybe like a story to where having that home inspection was helpful to maybe somebody who maybe didn't know about the process, maybe like a first time home buyer, they're not too sure what to expect. How walking in, what can they expect from their inspector?
Hopefully, good side bed manner, because I think I said that backwards, but I'm not here to scare the client. I'm here to inform the client. And I am a very picky inspector. I put everything in my report, but the way I explain it to them during the process hopefully calms them down and helps them through that process. Because I believe that how do I say this? The process of buying a home is hard enough for them. So I try to make it easy on them, give them a little peace of mind to help them understand the home that they're wanting to buy. It's not my job to tell them to run or, yeah, this is a great home. If I think it's a great home, I'll tell them, congratulations, you got a good one. But I'm just there to inform them of the physical things that I can see in the inspection.
Once you've identified some of those issues with the home, Doug, are you allowed to advise, or do you leave that up to the realtor to for an advice?
I always leave that up to the realtor. That's between the client and the real estate agent. My job is to inform them of the things I found. And then if they start asking me questions, hey, don't you think this needs to be fixed? That's between you and your real estate agent, what you guys want to ask for, if you can still ask for things. And that is part of that little sentence right there is part of my spiel to let them know right off the get-go that I'm not involved in the process of telling you what you can and can't fix. It's not my responsibility. It's between the real estate agent and you, the client.
Yeah, I think that is a super important distinction between informing and then advising. And a lot of people can get their wires crossed or start bleeding over into other people's lane, where really the realtor is the one that's driving the train through the whole process. And we're more or less providing them with informing them of the status of the home. All right, that's a wrap, folks. If you have any questions about home inspections or you need one, please reach out to us using the links below. We'll also put Doug's information along with his business information as well. And Doug will include this information down below in the description. Lastly, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe. This is GT signing off from Valley Home Vibes.
This is Laurent signing out. You have a good evening.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, everybody.